So let's see, let's understand from the people who are on this call, you know, people who are in favor of, having CSMs doing upsells, and people who are not in favor of CSMs doing upsell.
Hey, hi everyone. Okay, I think, see, this is a very sensitive topic. To be honest, you know, uh, upselling comes. You will be good at upsell as a CSM if you know your product well, if you know the features of your product well, if you know the use cases of the customer well in terms of how they are currently using the product and where is the need for them to start using the higher version of your product. Okay. Upsells are easy when the product is easy and you understand the features well. And again, you understand the use cases well of the customer. So this is my take on this.
To answer your question, I don't. There shouldn't be a hard line on the quota. It should be an incentivized.
Hmm.
It's good for a career progression of CSM if they are looking into account management or sales roles. Yeah.
The company would expect quotas because company would want a consistent effort going through, right? They
Hmm.
can't rely on a CSM for expansion without quotas. So that's one side of it. But the other side of it is today in my current organization, we typically give CSMs GRR as KPI structure and NRR as KPI structure for the account management team. But the KPIs are intertwined because CSMs generate CSQLs,
Yeah.
and those CSQLs go through a band qualification process. If the CSQL is qualified, and then they get incentivized for it, right, regardless of it getting closed or not. So
Yeah.
this kind of fills that gap of not having quotas but still contributing to the expansion side of things.
So what happens here is, basically CSMs are responsible for creating upsells. I mean, they're responsible for creating CSQLs, making sure that they nurture it. But then in the end, it's account manager's responsibility to close them. That way, basically, in case, and then there is no quota involved. Obviously, there is an OKR for the regional leaders that, hey, if you get this kind of business, that's great, but that's not a quota. And then, obviously, once CSMs have made that kind of an upsell, everyone earns that kind of commission. So what basically happens is, let's say, the CSM would earn 10% of the MRR, which has been upsell. The engagement manager or the team lead would earn, let's say, 7.5%, and the directors would earn like 5%. So everyone is involved in that kind of a funnel. And then basically they get money and they get incentivized that way. CSMs must do value selling. I think that's the best thing that they can do.
CSMs should not have a revenue quota. Rather, they can generate pipelines for the account team to then go and pursue them. Now, how does a CSM do that? Well, there are several ways of doing it. We can do this via QBRs. We can do this by in-person visits or workshops for that matter, and then create that opportunity for the account team. So one thing that we follow is the CSMs and account teams, they visit customers together. It should seem to the customer that the CSM and the account team are one single team,
Yes.
and that whatever value selling or whatever value that the vendor is bringing on the customer's table is going to be of benefit to them. If a CSM has gone through certifications, knows about the product in and out, it becomes all the more easier for the CSM to go ahead and do value selling. At the end of project delivery, we basically go ahead and revisit the customer, and we basically take them through the onboarding or maybe the implementation journey, or maybe a prospective product which the customer might be willing to look at, and then basically go ahead and pitch that product in a subtle way.
But just adding from a leadership perspective, that publishing, and this used to happen again at my previous organization, that publishing a report of all the qualified leads towards the end of the month or a quarter by the whole CS team and the conversions related to it would be very helpful. And it also helps in showcasing CS as a value center instead of being a cost center.
And I think there are so many things that we can learn from each other. So what we will do, I will divide you into 5 breakout rooms and you would have 15 minutes. What we are gonna do is discuss about the best practices. We'll learn about the process, upsell process from each of us in the breakout rooms. Get introduced first, and then discuss the upsell process, and then get the best practices. And after 15 minutes, we'll come back to the main call, and then we'll discuss the best practices from each of the room. Hi guys, welcome back. So let's hear from the members of Breakout Room 1. What are the best practices? What did you learn?
They could also be that how you're upselling, manage your professional services, or how is that you can able to increase the revenue from enabling more use cases, so to say. How is that if a customer, one location is being fulfilled right now, do you understand that if customer has more locations, let's say in US or Australia or in India, how is it you can replicate the same process for the other regions? There can be other ways. But the idea is that if a CSM is getting involved into all these processes and keeps a genuine interest, understanding the customer and what is it I'm able to offer, I think that's one of the best practices.
So your relationship with the existing stakeholders could lead you to other stakeholders, and then it will help the account team to do more outreach program.
Yes.
A CSM can also do webinars. They can do workshops. We typically do workshops by visiting customers and dedicating an entire day, training them, and then trying to connect with different stakeholders from many departments, right? So once you have basically sold that value, the concept of value to them, then it becomes all the more probable. I wouldn't use the term easy, but more probable for you to open more doors of expansion.
Hey, these are the features that are especially relevant for you. This is what you are doing right now. If you buy this would save this kind of a value. Again, this brings us to that point again that we were discussing earlier, value selling. And if you have a plan in place, you can do wonders. Great point. Thanks, Steve. Let's move to team 3.
We discussed few of the items which have already been covered by Deep and others on this, but I would like to mention two main anchor values that we talked about as customer success managers, right? One of those values which was mentioned by Anunay was that for a CSM it's very important to farm the opportunity and not chase the opportunity.
Yes.
So it's like farming and hunting. Now, why does it make is very critical? Because the way you approach this role, it designs your consulting pattern with the customer, and I'll roll back to the initial conversation that we had at the beginning of the call, right? That we do not want to dilute our relationship, neither the tone of consultation as a consultant, with the customer. And people are very smart; they will quickly catch it up. Whether you're always trying to sell or are you a consultant. So a consultant, no better example than Consigliere from Godfather or the Italian, right? You always trust them no matter in what bad situation you are. So being a consultant is all the more responsible towards our company as well. And we are a consultant for our company as well. It's both the ways. Our company also expects us to give us the right information, and the critical information about the customer so that we can plan our next actions accordingly. So that was a very good point which was brought in by Anunay.
Hey guys, thank you for watching the video. Join our India's largest customer success exclusive community for more such insightful and exclusive discussions. Link is in the description. For more such videos, do like, share and subscribe to my channel. Keep smiling.